What he said has Padres fans fired up. We got to talk about what MLB insider John Morosi said about Jackson Merrill right there in one of his recent articles. It had me doing the same thing. What's going on, everybody? I'm Christian Pedersen, back with another episode of Padres Digest. I promise I won't yell at you anymore the rest of this episode, although I am very fired up about what John Morosi said about the San Diego Padres center fielder Jackson Merrill. Before we go any further, I got to, as I said, introduce the show. Padres Digest. I'm the random guy on the internet here providing you information, takes, and updates. And this is the part where I say, since we're a random show on the internet, could you hit the subscribe button? It would be much appreciated. Okay, let's go back to talking about the baseball. I will show you the quote from Morosi before we go any further. I will just bring it up so we can talk about it. In context, he said the ceiling that Jackson Merrill has is legitimately, he could be a Hall of Fame player. Simply put, the achievements that he can come up with are limitless. Awesome. Love it. Every Major League Baseball team is going to have a guy every couple of years that comes out, starts out pretty hot, is young, could be projected to be hyperbolic. You'd be like, if he continues hitting all of this, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, 3,500, whatever it is, hits, home runs, stolen bases, his great thing. It's impossible to have, you don't have a crystal ball. You can't see these guys forever. Sometimes guys are genuinely just athletic, 22, 3, 4, 5-year-olds who come out the gate at their athletic peak, hitting the ball really well, and then they become serviceable baseball players, and they have nice, long careers, but they're not Hall of Famers. So to have a Hall of Fame quote or attribution like this, sure, could be hyperbolic, but let's talk about the here, the now, and the big picture, because Jackson Merrill is a Padres center fielder for the next decade per his contract extension that he signed earlier this season. I think in the decade, most likely there will be a restructuring at some point because he's going to want more money, because that is a fantastic deal for the Padres to have signed. Let me show you the numbers that we're working with for Jackson Merrill so far this season. Top numbers are this year. Bottom numbers is his career through, call it 200 games. He's just shy of that as of us recording this, but if you watch this in the next couple of days, he will pass that number. His numbers are freaking insane. Those numbers are fantastic. You can even jump in and say, but he didn't get these hits against Seattle as of us recording this. Okay, prisoner of the moment stuff with baseball sometimes can tweak your perception of a guy. Big picture, we got to talk about just how legitimately good this start is for Jackson Merrill, because I am on board with this take of saying that he is a potential Hall of Famer. Look, he's the first ever Padre as a rookie to be an All-Star, as a rookie to win a Silver Slugger. He should have won Rookie of the Year. Paul Skeens is fantastic. I was a pitcher in my baseball lifetime, so I understand you physically can't go every day, and I have empathy and sympathy for Skeens not being able to be out there for all 162, because I know he's a baller, but Merrill was out there day in, day out, and the case is there to vote for him. I'm sorry. I'll get off my soapbox. I'm done. You can drop a comment, though, to support if you think that he should have been the Rookie of the Year, or maybe I'm wrong on that. But look, he's got 2 out of those 3 with a little asterisk for that third award as a rookie, which is awesome. Stuff that no other Padre, as we said, have done. But it gets, to me, to be a little bit crazier than that when you start digging deeper into the numbers. If you look, Morosi brings this up in the article, the jump that he is making from rookie year to second year. And yes, I would assume that most really good players have made jumps from their rookie to their second year. If you look at the full list of top 5 most hits through 2 seasons, I couldn't find a way to break down the splits of most hits through 1 point something seasons, but most hits through 2 seasons, it's Ichiro, Pete Rose, Ty Cobb are the 1, 2, 3. They're all maybe in a level that Merrill won't catch, but 4 and beyond seemed to be well within Merrill's reach for what he could do this season, especially if he's doing stuff like this, where he has these massive jumps from the numbers he had last year to the numbers he had this year. To be up this much is awesome, but then you look at it at the end, he leads center fielders in it. So this is a guy who is not only making a jump internally within the organization to be better than the guy he was last year, be a better player, be a better contributor. This is a guy who is actively in real time, as of right now, one of, if not the most prolific offensive center fielders in all of baseball. And that is something that I like. We had Steve Finley. That was great. He was cool for the 98 team. He was a Gold Glover. Okay. We have not had a signature dude like that in the outfield since, I would argue, Tony Gwynn. I get that Nando is out there now, but Nando, I think, is out there partially because he was so unbelievably nasty and reckless as a shortstop that they had to prevent him from hurting himself diving for balls. And so he, to me, is in spirit not really an outfielder. Maybe he is an outfielder and I'm splitting a weird hair that, in which case I don't want to be disservice to Tatis, but look, we have not had a guy like this. Merrill has already come back and been a boost. And again, you can say whatever you want about the Seattle games. Big picture, he has been a boost and a boon to this team. Morosi dives even further into the numbers, and this is the one where I'm just like, okay, this is crazy to me of looking at, because Merrill's a lefty, and this is where I'm talking about, like, this is the kind of Hall of Fame stuff that you see from a guy. His numbers, lefty on lefty, are fantastic. In an era where baseball specialization is somewhat breeding this out and getting rid of the ability to hit both sides of the mound, both sides of the plate, just be able to crush everything. He is tearing, like, if he was just hitting that 346 across the board for everything, it'd be like, dope. He's probably hitting 310 against lefties, 370 against righties, and you take it. But no, that 340 is against lefties. So looking at that, then it's up above that on righty. Like, this guy is an out-of-control offensive juggernaut weapon. And I think that you can argue in the comment section, and I look forward to what you have to say, that you can say, yes, he's young. Maybe he's still going to get figured out by pitching staffs here in the majors. Maybe he's going to have some regressions. Obviously, like with a pulled hamstring this year, he's going to, like, injuries are going to happen. Knock on wood, God, for, like, I get it. There's all sorts of disclaimers that you can probably jump down in the comment section and talk about. But to me, the numbers don't lie that Jackson Merrill right now has us all fired up just because he's good at baseball. But now that people nationally are talking about already at year 1 point something of his career, that he is a Hall of Fame caliber player, it makes me so happy that the Padres locked him up earlier this season, because now the foundation between him, I think it is no longer Manny and Nando. It is now a big three, to borrow from the NBA, between Manny, Nando, and Merrill. And then beyond that, the Padres are finding out the combo of support pieces that they need around those three to make it all happen. And we have other videos breaking down about that, so you can go check all that out. But to close out, the summary is Jackson Merrill is being talked about nationally now as a Hall of Fame potential player with the kind of incredible numbers that he is putting up. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like I said, if you could hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon.